What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns doing another episode of my vehicle price prediction showcase. And it's been a few years since we did the last one because last one was what? Smuggler's Run, right? Yeah. So anyways, the spirit of my vehicle price prediction showcase is just fun. And it's participation, which means you, yes you, can partake in the predictions below in the comment section. But we do have rules. Price is Right rules, in case those of you don't know what Price is Right is. Alright, so the closest bid under the actual retail price whenever it's released on Tuesday, December 12th, the Doomsday Heist, any bid that's over your bid loses. So you have to go under that bid. And the cool thing is, if I make a prediction and you like my prediction, you think that my prediction might be right, you can screw me over the same way they do in Price is Right by bidding like $1. Like, so, for example, if I bid like $2 million on something and you agree with me, you can go $2 million in one. So you can do that to really, like, stick it to me. And that way, if it's $2.5 million, you would technically win. And what do you win? Absolutely nothing. This is just for fun, by the way. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the ground vehicles first, and then we're going to do the air vehicles in this price prediction showcase. And as far as I can tell from watching the trailer about a few bazillion times, I think there's only 10 vehicles per se. No, we're not going to include the nuclear-powered submarine. I don't think that counts or qualifies as a quote-unquote vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online. Chances are that's probably just going to be for a setup mission similar to the aircraft carrier in Heist. It's not a vehicle. I mean, I doubt it'll be a property that we can purchase. Then again, I guess we'll find out Tuesday morning when the Doomsday Heist comes to Grand Theft Auto Online, which, by the way, I will be covering in all its glory. So I want to throw out some factors for us to consider before going forward with these predictions. First off, not all these 10 vehicles might be day one, because we could be looking at a Drippocalypse 2018, whereas, you know, we'll be able to use these vehicles during the heists and the setups leading up to the Doomsday Heist, but they may not be purchasable for a few weeks or, dare I say, months from now. So just keep that in mind that, you know, maybe all 10 of these vehicles come out day one this Tuesday, December 12th. Maybe not. And there'll be other vehicles as well, most likely, that we don't even know about. All right, so the other factors I want to tell you about is that I believe, and this is just my opinion, that the ground and air vehicles are going to require a bit more to them. All right, for example, for ground vehicles, you're probably going to need a bunker, an MOC, along with the vehicle workshop. Maybe, maybe not, but I have that feeling that that's going to be the case. So, yes, you're going to have to already have a bunker, MOC, vehicle workshop, most likely, in order to purchase and fully customize and upgrade these various ground vehicles. Maybe not, but I'm kind of thinking, yeah, it's probably going to be a thing. Same thing goes with the air vehicles. I also feel like Rockstar is going to take full advantage of, you know, the hangar and the hangar workshop. So you may need the hangar and the hangar workshop as well for the air vehicles that's coming with the Doomsday Heist. Or it could just be a new property we're going to have to spend a few $1,000,000 on. So that's also a possibility. So, like I said, we have a lot of questions regarding this update, and we'll have those answers hopefully on Tuesday. And another thing I want to consider is the price range, because with the Heist update and with these various other updates, we do have price ranges now. We have the Buy It Now price, which is more expensive, and then you have the discounted price. And I think the Doomsday Heist vehicles, very similar to the Heist vehicles, where, like, once you complete a setup or the heist that unlocks the cheaper price, then you'll be able to get that vehicle at a discounted price, as opposed to the Buy It Now price, which is obviously going to be a few $100,000 or even $1,000,000+ more expensive. So anyway, so just want to put those out there, those factors for you to think about and ponder going into the predictions. So we're going to stick with ground vehicles first. Now, technically, this is kind of a ground vehicle, and it's kind of not a ground vehicle, but I'm most excited about this vehicle because I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Yes, I am. The Deluxo, based off of the DeLorean, and of course the Deluxo was first featured in Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Yep, coming all the way from the 80s, and yes, the Deluxo will have a hover conversion system. Now the question is is it two versions of the Deluxo, like a base model Deluxo, and then you have to get the hover conversion system upgrade. Chances are that's probably going to be the case, but whatever it ends up being, I'm just going to throw out my base prediction regarding the Deluxo. Now, this is probably lowballing all these prices. Maybe. I mean, I hope that the prices are low. Probably not. But anyways, for the Deluxo, my prediction is going to be $3 million. And it could be lower because of, like I mentioned, the fact that maybe, just maybe, you buy the base model with the ability to upgrade it at the MOC, which will cost even more money. Surprise, surprise. Moving on to the Ardent 2.0, as we're calling it, this submarine car based off of the Lotus from the Roger Moore James Bond film where, you know, he went underwater. And the reality is, we already had the Ardent, which is why we're calling this one Ardent 2.0 for now until we have an official name for it. So the POS original Ardent came out at the very end of gun running, and we all hoped that that would be the submersible car. It does have machine guns on it, but don't take it into the water because it doesn't float or doesn't submerge. It just dies and gets destroyed and costs you money from Morse Mutual. So the Ardent, the original OG Ardent, is $1.1 million. So my prediction for Ardent 2.0 is $2.5 million. And it is also possible that maybe, just maybe, you just are able to upgrade the Ardent to Ardent 2.0, giving it submersible abilities. But I think this vehicle looks a little bit different than the Ardent. It looks like maybe even a newer version of the Ardent, or maybe even a completely different vehicle entirely. So that's just speculation on my part. Next, we're going to the new tank, which officially, I think is going to be called, according to GTA Wiki. By the way, GTA Wiki is where I'm citing these vehicles from, by the way. I think it's going to be called, and if you go by the trailer, you briefly see it behind Lester, the TM02 Konjali. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It is loosely based off of the Polish PL01. And I was originally calling it the Super Rhino, but let's just call it the Konjali. Okay, the Konjali stealth tank. I'm going to predict it a little bit higher than the Rhino. By the way, the Rhino is purchasable for $1.5 million. So my prediction for the Konjali tank is $2 million. Next, we move on to the armored six-wheeled police riot van, SWAT van, whatever you want to call it. And there's been some debate about the cannons on top of this truck. Some say that they're actually water cannons, which could very well be a possibility if it's a riot van. I mean, it's obviously police themed because you can see the lights, you know, in the front of the vehicle, and it feels like a police vehicle. So if these vehicles are purchasable, that's why we're doing this. So it's very possible that we might be able to purchase this new armored six-wheel police riot van as well. My prediction for this one is $1 million, because if it doesn't really have weapons on it besides, you know, like water cannons, you know, I mean, even if it does have some ability to plow through police cars like in the trailer and take some damage, it's still not going to be very expensive in my opinion. Next, we're moving on to this off-road paramilitary truck that we briefly saw in the trailer. It's also known as a Storm SRTV, which stands for Search and Rescue Tactical Vehicle. So this is something that's obviously used by militaries and I guess paramilitaries as well. It has, I think, at least 1 or 2 machine guns on it. It looks kind of sweet. Looks like a fun off-road vehicle. My prediction for this SRTV paramilitary off-road truck is $1.5 million. Next, we're moving over to the final ground vehicle that we're going to go over today that we know of, the missile launcher. Now, the debate is whether or not the missile launcher truck is or is not going to be a purchasable vehicle. I'm just going to go on the belief that it may be, it might be, unlike the Russian nuclear power submarine, which I don't think it's going to be. I could always be wrong, but whatevs. My prediction regarding the missile launcher is $1.75 million. And why is that so low? Because even though it's going to be able to launch like a ton of missiles, and it possibly might even be armored to a certain degree, this is going to be a very, very slow truck. And I don't know if we're going to be able to customize this truck, to be honest, because obviously it can't fit inside the MOC. So I don't know how we'll be able to customize it. I guess it'll be similar to, how you customize the MOC itself whenever you purchase it. I guess that's how, because you just go and you just, I don't know, but you do it in the bunker, I think, when it comes to customizing the MOC. Yeah, you do, because you go that one guy that stands outside the MOC, and that's where you customize it, and the AA trailer. So that's probably how we're going to be able to customize the missile launcher. So that's why I think it's going to be not as expensive, $1.75 million, because other than taking down potential like aircraft, like jets and helicopters, it's slow. It probably could be easily destroyed, even if it does have some armor capabilities. But I think it's only going to be purposed for like ground-to-air combat. So moving on now to the air vehicles, we're going to go off with the one I'm really excited about, the Akula stealth helicopter, and that's the name it's going to be in the game, this Russian helicopter. And it's, I guess you could say it's based off the Comanche, even though technically the Hunter's also based off the Apache and Comanche as well. But the Akula could very well be very competitive with the Hunter, which just became available to purchase a few weeks ago from Dripocalypse 2017. So I'm imagining the price tag of the Akula to be somewhere in the same ballpark as the Hunter. And I'm hoping that at the very least it's competitive. It's not better, it's not worse than the Hunter. It's just that it's just a different option you can get besides the Hunter. Because if it's better than the Hunter, then a lot of people that purchased the Hunter, that's been waiting patiently for the Hunter for a very, very, very long time, they're going to be a little salty about that. But anyways, my prediction for the Akula stealth attack helicopter is $4.5 million. Now, the Hunter, its price tag ranges between $3.1 and $4.1 million. So that's why I'm putting it in the $4.5 million range. Next is the Osprey Vito. Now, we don't know what its name is going to be in the game, but its official name in real life is Osprey. And I think this is going to be kind of like an air version of the MOC. I think. I could be wrong about that, but I think it may have some use, some purpose to it, but it's mainly for like troop transporting. You know, it can take off vertically like a helicopter. It can fly like a plane. So it's going to be interesting, and I don't know how we're going to be able to compare it with, say, the Tula, which is also a Vito. It's very slow, but not only is it a Vito, the Tula can also, it's also aquatic. It can go into the water. So the Tula, by the way, the price tag ranges from $3.9 million to $5.1 million. So I'm going to predict that the Osprey, which most likely is not aquatic, it's only a Vito, I think. You never know with Rockstar, right? So my prediction for the Osprey Vito is going to be $4 million, somewhere in the middle compared to the Tula. Next, we move on to the B-1 bomber. Also, some people speculate that this may be based off the Avro Vulcan, and I saw some images of it, and I think it's probably a hybrid of both of these unique bombers. That's what Rockstar likes to do. They like to mix and match real-life vehicles into like one of their own fictional versions. So, but it does look a lot like an Avro Vulcan V bomber. And I'm going to compare it with the Bombushka, which some of you love and enjoy. Now, the Bombushka was a major disappointment, to say the least. It's slow. It does have, you know, some protection, has some guns on it, but it really can't take much damage when it comes to rockets being fired at it. I mean, for some reason, you can slam it against a building or a mountain or the ground, and it's fine, but it doesn't do well against rockets. So the Bombushka's price tag is $4.4 million to $5.9 million. And I think that this bomber looks to be a little bit faster, more maneuverable than the Bombushka. And it may not offer much protection, it may not have that much armor, but it makes up for it, I think, in the speed and maneuverability that this bomber is going to provide in the Doomsday Heist. So my prediction for the B1/Avro Vulcan V bomber, whatever it is, $6.5 million, because I think it's going to be a way better bomber than the POS Bombushka. And the final vehicle we're going to do a prediction on is one of the vehicles that has also been highly anticipated in Grand Theft Auto Online. In fact, it was teased in Grand Theft Auto 5 Story at Mount Chiliad, and people have been wanting this vehicle added to the game for quite some time, and it comes all the way back from Grand Theft Auto 5 San Andreas. The jetpack. Yes, the jetpack is finally coming to Grand Theft Auto Online, courtesy of the Doomsday Heist, and I think this vehicle is going to be a little bit different than, say, the aircraft in the game. Now, once again, this is all just me speculating here, so don't take anything I say as scripture, especially the prices, because the prices will probably be way higher, unfortunately. I think the jetpack is going to work very similar to like the heavy armor you can get. So you can call up that heavy armor and it gets dropped off and you can put it on. So I'm imagining that the jetpack is going to be set similar to where you can just call it up and it gets dropped off, and then you like suit up in the jetpack and you fly off, and you can fly around, you can hover around, you can blow shit up with it until it gets destroyed. So I think it'll be similar to a Pegasus vehicle. I would like for it to be customizable and storable in the hangar, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. You never know. I guess, once again, those answers will hopefully be revealed coming up on Tuesday. So my prediction for the jetpack, I'm going to be very generous with this price tag, because I think that even though this looks like it could be a lot of fun, it looks like you could be easily murdered in the jetpack, because it doesn't really offer that much protection. I mean, you're flying around in a jetpack with maybe some rockets and hardly anything else to protect your ass, right? And I think it'd probably be easy to fall out of control, slam into a mountain, die, or into a building, or get griefed by a hunter or an oppressor. Yeah, so my price tag for the jetpack is going to be $900,000. So there you have it, my predictions regarding the vehicles that we do know about coming with the Doomsday Heist. Once again, the Deluxo, $3 million, Ardent 2.0, $2.5 million, the Conjali Stealth Tank, $2 million, the six-wheeled Riot Van, $1 million, the SRTV Off-Road Paramilitary Truck, $1.5 million, the Missile Launcher, $1.75 million, the Akula Stealth Attack Helicopter, $4.5 million, the Osprey, $4 million, the Averill Vulcan V Bomber, $6.5 million, and yes, you heard correctly, my prediction for the jetpack is $900,000. And feel free and leave your predictions for either one or all 10 of these vehicles below in the comments section.